What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. Stevie J is crazy, y'all, in my honest opinion. The brother is a very talented producer, and he's on all of these reality shows, with all these different ladies and messing with different ladies. Has many kids by many different ladies also. But Stevie J has a fundamental problem with relationships and women. It's something that happened to a lot of black men that come from, I believe, single parent homes. They have a big problem with commitment, maybe some of them. And, Stevie J just does not know what qualities that a good woman has, nor how to maintain it. And I believe the same problem is with Faith. Every relationship she's had has been terrible. Outside of Biggie, and he passed. Okay? So what I want to talk about is that with Stevie J, he divorced her, said he didn't want a divorce. Then he divorced her again. All right? And now it's Mother's Day. He begged her, or is begging for her back. Now, this is after him doing the interview naked on a cell phone while getting oral relations during the interview from some unknown woman. Okay? Now he's begging for Faith back. This is what he says. Day music!
Faith Renee Jordan, I've hurt you, disrespected you, and humiliated you in front of the world. From this day forward, I promise to listen to your feelings and be more delicate with your heart. I also promise to build you up even more and to communicate daily with you, respect you, and love you until you're as happy as you were when we got married. I've learned my lesson. I never want to live without you because God knows I'm a better man with you, and I'm asking you to find your heart to forgive me and allow me to rebuild our trust. Happy Mother's Day. I love you.
So let me just deal with this dude. Okay. Here's what happens with a lot of black men. Now, in relationships, we make mistakes. I'm not going to sit back here and lie and say that we don't. I know that we do. But what happens is many times we act as if we are the only ones that make a mistake. And the reality why that is because when we miss somebody, we don't look at the bad things about them anymore. We are really only concerned with the fact that we just miss them around. We miss the vibe, the good times, the sex. When we miss people, we typically don't miss them for bad things. We miss them for the good things. And we're completely ignoring why we wanted to break up in the first place. Okay? Fundamentally, there is a reason why I don't want your ass no more. It really is. But sometimes when you miss somebody, then you start thinking about all the good stuff. But then here's what happens, right? When you get back together, of course, you've been apart for some time. Neither one of you really grows up. You go back to hating each other again. Why? Oh, let me tell you. It is fundamentally because you go back to the same things that you hated about them in the first place. You don't like them as a person. You've never liked them as a person. You might love them, but you can't get along with them because you can't change because you're too old, or she can't change because she's too old, for whatever the reason may be. And you don't want to accept the other person as they are. So then that's the problem. And fundamentally, that is what Stevie J is doing. So he wants to blame everything on himself. Then when you do that, then the woman who is disrespecting you, she don't feel like it was nothing that she did because you're the one that reached out to her. You're the one that's checking for her. So then what's going to happen is you're going to come back and feel like you got to rebuild everything and you need to do something. And then what's going to end up happening, like it always does, You guys do this. You put all the onus on yourself, and you go ahead and try to do everything right. Then that person don't do nothing. They don't put no effort into it. So then it ends up as it was. Let me just say this. You guys in this whole thing, this woman makes me a better woman. What woman wants to really a better man? What woman really wants to hear that? Like, I can't live without you. Does that sound like somebody that a woman wants to be a part of his life? Like, well, you can't live without me. Like, you're weak if you can't live without me. In fact, then it's like, well, if I know you don't live without me, I'm going to crumble. What would a woman want? She wants to be a part of a man that shit. If he goes, he's going to still be doing very well. Fantastic. So I need to be a part of his life because he has value anyway. That should be your attitude. Even if you felt like saying that, you shouldn't say it. If you publicly humiliated her and all the time stuff, if she have any kind of self-respect for herself, which she probably don't because she's dealing with Stevie J in the first place, why would she go back? Now in the faith in faith defense, I don't know how many guys that she would have an opportunity to deal with, because Faith ain't the best person in relationships either. But the reality is you might not just be compatible. And a lot of times black people just got to understand that, man. We can love people and we're just not compatible with them. And a lot of times we get upset, and I've had times, I'll burn bridges with people and, and really hate on them a lot and, have animosity towards them. And the whole thing was we just not compatible people. That don't mean that we got to be enemies or we got to be hating each other or anything like that. We're just not compatible. Sometimes you're not compatible to be friends with people. That don't mean that you got to be upset with them or have an issue with them. But the thing is, when you're trying to make something compatible, which is not compatible, bro, you and her are not meant to be. Maybe you have good sex. Maybe you have good relationships and stuff or good times. But she's not the kind of woman that is built for a relationship. Okay? All right? She's not. And maybe you're not. But she's not going to respect you because you said you need her. You make me a better man. What about her makes you a better man? I just need to know. Does she motivate you to do better? Because I think you're doing better than her. No disrespect, but what woman wants to hear that? It's not masculine. It's very feminine. If you want to apologize to the lady, why don't you just apologize to her in private? Oh, but it's Mother's Day. Even though I trashed you, like, you look like a joke. If she got any respect for herself, she won't even go back and talk to you. Because why? Your feminine ass is going to do the same thing again. And she's crazy too. But I'll be here to watch it because I like reporting on it. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Or for all that you do, subscribe, hit the bell, check out the first comment at the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains at all-time high. I'm out.